Okay, so this week we are talking about contemporary digital artists, and I personally was assigned Dennis Hylnsky, who is actually a professor currently at RISD, and since I'm in the Providence area, I was able to set up an interview and talk with him one-on-one about just his style, where he gets his inspiration, what kind of brought him to where he is right now, and it was an awesome experience because if you're researching someone, there's only so much you can get off of the internet and what other people say about them, but it's a whole nother thing to be able to sit down face to face and just talk to the actual person about what makes them do what they do, why they're doing things, and so that was really cool. The biggest thing I took from our whole conversation was that ever since he started working with video art and digital art, he's always been about the subject matter more so than what the final product's going to look like. And I think that's what makes his pieces so unique and intriguing. It's because there's that integrity and that honesty that he's going for. He's not really concerned about what the video is going to look like. He's focused on the subject matter. And that kind of traces back to how he got first involved with this stuff. So the first thing that kind of drove him to start working with this new media that was coming out was, in the 1970s. He started working with a group of other artists, and they made the Electron Movers, which is a group in 1974. And their whole deal was focusing on celebration as a form of art. And I came across that as my research, and then he brought it up when we were talking, and I was like, I think I'm missing something, I don't really understand. And he was like, literally just celebration as art. So, a 4th of July parade, a town day, a Halloween celebration hosted by the town or something, like that celebration itself as a piece of art. So he's very much engaged in the interaction and the idea of highlighting whatever is supposed to be being celebrated, whether it be someone's life, whether it be a holiday, a new, mayor or something like that, just very much on the celebration itself. So you can see that start really carried on throughout his entire works. And I was talking to him about some of his recent stuff that he posts mainly on Vimeo, which is a really cool website where you can share little video clips, and it's not sponsored, not like YouTube, so it's just all of your recommendations and people to follow, whatever comes directly from the art that you view, and it has nothing to do with outside people paying for ads and things like that. So it gets you much more of an honest review and connects you to people that you would genuinely be interested in seeing their art and performances and things like that. And he does videos of flocks of birds, and he breaks down the frames, and that way you can see the flight patterns of these birds, and it comes across as this. It's really cool. You guys gotta check it out. It traces each pattern that they're flying, and it leaves it on the screen, and it's mesmerizing, honestly. And it's so genuine, and it's just the flight patterns of the birds. He's not manipulating it. He's just showing what was already there. And he was talking to me, and he barely even mentioned the videos themselves. He was talking to me much more about the birds and the setup that he had, where he was watching them. He was sitting in a parking lot over in Seekonk off of Route 6 because he's from northern Ohio, and that scenery around that area made it feel like home to him. It wasn't the water, the beauty of rural Rhode Island. It was looking at these birds in this kind of industrialized area and seeing them. And they're not even beautiful birds, they're invasive birds, but it felt like home to him, and it was comfortable, and that's where he sat and he filmed, and then he went back and then he made these videos. But I really think that that's the defining factor of his work compared to everyone else's that I've come across with personally. is that he cared so much more about the subject matter than the final product, and that really shows. And nothing looks forced or unnatural. It looks genuine. I think that's what makes it so beautiful, in my opinion. I was talking to him about some of his inspirations, and he was saying people like Bill Viola, Andy Warhol, when he started to do his films, especially the one including Empire State Building, and just a lot of like artists that were large during the 70s and the 80s, because that's when he was starting to make some of his other projects as well. And you can see like influence of these artists in some of the styles and the way that he approaches certain techniques. But all in all, I think that what makes his work so different and intriguing is, like I've said 1,000 times, because that's just what it is. It's the fact that he was going for celebrating what was already there, making it something that is about, it wasn't about him. It's not about what he produces. It's about what is already there and making it so everyone can see the beauty, the complexity, and just how special something is. So it was a great week in digital art class. I got a great experience to sit down with someone I never would have talked to, and learned a lot about digital art and just what makes art intriguing itself. So hope you guys learned a little something from my longer video. I apologize for that, but it's hard to cut things down when there's a lot to say.